Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
BAL Tire.
The Tigers have dealt with a power outage this year. That was until yesterday when John Hicks and Dixon Machado hit dramatic late-inning home runs. 53% of the Tigers' runs this year have scored from the 7th inning or later. Nice to have a walk-off win here at the ballpark. It is a cool but sunny day here at Comerica. Welcome to Game 3 in this series, featuring the Detroit Tigers and the visiting Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pebble alongside Rod Allen. We are glad to have you with us here for Game 3 in the series. One thing you can say about these cats, Rod, they are comeback cats, man. They have played some of their best baseball late in ball games.
You know, I think it started in spring training. It was a mindset. I mean, that's what Ron Gardenhire said to his team. No one really gave this team a chance to compete. Everybody said they're going to lose 100 games. But the 25 guys in that dugout and also the manager and his coaching staff, they believe they're a good team. They've shown that late in games. They just don't quit.
All right, now there are two Machados in this series. One is much more celebrated. That would be Manny Machado on the Orioles side, but Dixon Machado stole the show yesterday.
Well, I just love the fact that last year they kind of identified Dixon as a player that they wanted to keep in their organization, so they kept him in the big leagues all season long, knowing he was not going to get a chance to play a lot. And what he did last year is he learned from Ian Kinsler how Kinsler went about his business on an everyday basis, playing that second base position. And now this year, Dixon has gotten an opportunity to play, and he's just been getting it done on both sides of the ball. He had the walk-off homer yesterday for the Tigers, and defensively, learning a new position. He's pretty much been flawless there. He turns a double play. He picks the balls from the catcher when they throw guys out at second base. This guy has really put on a lot of weight, Mario, since we saw him a few years back, and because of that, he's a pretty good big league player, and I'm looking forward to watching what he can do playing every single day for an entire year.
And we'll see if the Tigers today can finish off the Orioles here before the Royals come to town beginning tomorrow. After a short break, to the call Sam we go. We'll check in with John Keating. Coming up in this one today, Jordan Zimmerman will try and pitch the Tigers to a sweep. JC and the Tigers taking on the O's. Game 3 next.
Indications of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. And by Ram, hurry in and get a great deal during the Ram Spring Sales Event. John Keating back in our Call Sam studio, just moments away from the series finale between the Tigers and the Orioles. Of the 4 homers that the Tigers mashed on Wednesday, there was Miggy's on his birthday, there was Machi's to win it, but the most productive of them was the late 3-run bomb by John Hicks. Now, Leslie Hicks was here as part of the Tigers' Wives Taking Over the Fox Sports Detroit Instagram account, and she celebrated uniquely.
He is the best maker of cheesecakes. He makes them from scratch, and they're delicious. That's his other fun fact about him. And after that home run, cheesecake time!
This series, a clear afternoon for baseball. Jordan Zimmerman is on the hill for the Tigers. He's presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Jordan has no record as we speak. And you may remember in his last outing, he was hitting the very first inning, had to leave that game. He said he would make his next start, and here he is. And Jordan's got a fastball that tops out at about 93. He also has a slider, curveball, and a changeup, and he likes the pitches in the order that I gave you.
Here is the lineup he will face today, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. For the Orioles, they have Mancini, Alvarez, and Machado in the top 3 spots. It'll be Adam Jones cleaning up, then Chris Davis, Luis Sardinas, Beckham, Santander, and Cisco. rounded out for Buck Showalter and the Orioles. And we are ready for day baseball again here this afternoon. The Tigers wrap up this series. They've got the Royals coming to town next.
Mancini has swung at the first pitch in the first couple of games of the series. We'll see if he's trying to hunt the first fastball from Jordan today.
He is. Bouncer back up the middle on the backhand. Machado, his flip is in time. One gone.
Some guys just are going to be aggressive. Let's take a look at the Tigers' defensive alignment behind Jordan Zimmerman this afternoon. Jacoby Jones, Leonis Martin, Nicholas Castellanos in the outfield. And third to first reads Candelario Iglesias Machado with the big home run yesterday. Miggy with a big day on his birthday. And James McCann back behind the plate.
Here is Pedro Alvarez. They quickly employ the shift against Alvarez. And he'll look at strike one in the outer edge.
And Zimmerman was hit, you may remember, by Jason Kipnis in Cleveland. And that last ball right there hit off the bat of Mancini was real close to him.
Well, there's always a wonder how you'll react to something like that.
Yeah.
But Jordan going back out, making his turn without skipping a spot.
I guess he had his jaw broken when he was in college and they put some plates in his jaw, and he said actually this time that he was hit in the jaw, it helped by having those plates that were already inserted in the jaw, that there was not more damage.
Apparently the doctors told him you'll never break it again. And they certainly put that to the test.
Ball coming out of his hand nicely so far. He's only thrown a handful of pitches, but I just kind of like the looseness of the arm. That last pitch was a breaking ball that had some depth, but missed off the plate outside.
Alvarez is the DH for the Orioles today. We're on the count even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Pedro. We got Vanover behind the dish today. He is the crew chief. Carlson, Guccione, and Rackley round out the umpiring crew. Popped up. He chased one up in the zone, left side of the infield for Candelario, and there are 2 gone.
And one of the things that I've noticed that the Tigers have done in the series, and I think it's the reason that because Baltimore swings so early and often, is they don't really throw their fastball for strikes. They throw at the top of the strike zone. They've gotten guys to pop up a lot. Matthew Boyd, I believe, had about 10 or 11 flyouts yesterday on that fastball upstairs, and the good breaking balls that Boyd was throwing.
Boyd once again was outstanding yesterday. The hope is that Zim now can find his rhythm. He's got Manny Machado here with 2 outs. Tigers pitching by and large this year has been somewhat of a pleasant surprise, both out of the bullpen and in the rotation. Very steady this year. Here is strike one on Machado.
That's a good fastball by Jordan. 92, a little late life on it.
3 out of 7 in the series for Machado. Little number right back to the mound. It's going to be an easy inning for Jordan Zimmerman. That's a good start. A 1-2-3 first. today, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Here is how Ron Gardenhire will line them up. Martin, Candelario, Cabrera at the top, and you got Castellanos cleaning up. Vmart DHing. McCann back behind the dish. Jones, Iglesias, and Machado. And they're facing Alex Cobb, who's presented by MGM Grand Detroit.
And Baltimore just signed to Alex Cobb on March 21st to a 4-year contract, and he really has not had a spring training. He's made one start this year. Didn't go that well. It was against the Boston Red Sox, where he gave up 10 hits, 8 runs. 7 of those were earned.
And the first one home is low to Leonis Martin.
Alex Cobb made some comments after that start. He said, no disrespect to the Boston Red Sox. They're a very good offensive team. But he said, I just wasn't sharp. And basically, I'm just kind of going through spring training right now, trying to get my arm strength up.
March 21st was the date he was signed, a 4-year deal by the Orioles, who typically, as an organization, I think many organizations are like this, don't like to give the long-term deals to starting pitchers.
Right.
They got burned a little bit on Ubaldo Jimenez and deal with him. There's a swing and a miss, 2-1.
Well, Cobb's got a fastball that will top out probably at about 91. He's got a really good curveball. It's a knuckle curveball. And he's got a changeup. He will throw that changeup and that curveball, especially with 2 strikes. And he'll also throw that breaking ball when he's behind some of the left-handed hitters.
Ground ball up the middle into center field. A base hit for Martin.
Orioles will line up this way defensively. Mancini, Jones, and Santander in the outfield. In the infield, they've got Beckham at third, Machado at short, Sardinas is the second baseman, Chris Davis is over at first, and Chance Cisco is the catcher.
With the leadoff man on, here is Jeimer Candelario.
We'll see if they want to try to run on Alex Cobb here today.
Ground ball right side, base hit. Martin hits the bag at second. He will stop there, and the Tigers open this one up with back-to-back singles.
That's why Ron Gardenhire says he just absolutely loves having the youngster Candelario in that number 2 spot. Now he can take that ball and hit it right in there where the first baseman is holding the runner on. And usually this is a 1st to 3rd situation, but Santander was playing rather shallow. They didn't want to run the risk. Can't do it any better than that, buddy.
Nope. And Jeimer now really settling into that 2 spot. He has really picked up the pace offensively. Here is Cabrera now with 2 on, nobody out. And Miggy looks at one outside, 1-0. Cobb is 30 years old, born in Boston. He grew up in the Vero Beach area, went to high school there. And as we mentioned, was an off-season, very late in spring training signee as a free agent. One of the guys that was out there for a while.
Yeah, he said he was excited to pitch in Boston his first start of the year because he was able to pitch in front of a lot of family and friends, but just didn't go all that well for him.
Well, this year he's going to have to, pitching in the American League East Division, deal with Boston a lot, deal with the Yankees, deal with Toronto.
Right. He spent a lot of years in Tampa, though, right?
He did, very true. So he's pretty used to it. And I think Buck Showalter said, you know, one of the reasons we went out and got him is we've seen him plenty. Meanwhile, 2-0 on Miguel Cabrera. Flared in the right side of the infield, foul ground. Will it stay in play? It will. Davis runs it down, and Miggy is retired. 1 away, runners hold.
I wouldn't mind seeing Martin steal third base here. He's got really good speed, and it's easier to steal third base sometimes than it is to steal second base. And I know Castellanos is standing in the batter's box, but if they give you enough room to run, why not take that bag?
So Nicholas will stand in now. What's going on here? We got an equipment problem, maybe?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
The left fielder, Trey Mancini, is going to switch out gloves. There you go.
In case you're wondering on Leonis Martin and how many times he has stolen third base in his career, 14 of 17.
There you go.
And of course, if you're Candelario, you have to pay attention to the runner that's in front of you. If he takes off, then you have to make sure you take off as well.
A little bit low to Castellanos. Tigers all season have scored just 3 runs in the first inning. And that is their second lowest output of any inning. They've scored 2 in the 4th. Much of their scoring, as we had mentioned, has come late in games, so they would like to get out to a nice start here today.
Well, Cobb gave up 3 runs in the first frame in his first outing of the season. Maybe the Tigers can touch him up for a couple here.
Here's the 1-0. Fouled back out of play. 1-1 on Castellanos. By the way, we saw it yesterday, but if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the Tiger Box to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries.
Yeah, folks, don't forget to take your box score to the get your curly fries today.
That's right. We had 4 home runs in yesterday's game.
Almost the entire output of the season.
Right. Since we had 4 yesterday, maybe they'll give you a large curly fry
Yeah,
instead of a small.
go for that.
1-1. Roll toward third base. Foul ball just outside of the bag.
Cobb has thrown Castellanos 3 straight fastballs at 91 miles an hour. Usually with 2 strikes, he likes to go to that curveball. Not so much the changeup to the righties, more changeups to lefties. Lots of curveballs and lots of 2-seam fastballs to the right-handed batters.
Well, his curveball usage was on the first pitch the highest among starters in the American League last year.
And it's a pretty good one, too. I guess he's kind of learned what a lot of starting pitchers are learning these days, Mario. That's a good pitch if you can get it over the plate.
It is changing, to be sure. 1-2. Swing and a miss, and an awkward swing there by Nick, and he's gone 2 away.
Yeah, he came at Nick with 4 straight fastballs. The last of which was out of the strike zone. Nick just couldn't hold up. He used his fastball 56% of the time in his last outing, and a lot of that was because he's trying to build up the arm strength. We told you that he didn't sign until the 21st of March, although he was throwing before that. He's still trying to build up that arm strength, I would believe.
So here is Vmart now. Victor with a 2-out chance. They play the shift on him, even with 2 men on, but the third baseman Beckham staying home a little bit more. And there is a high strike, 0-1.
Yeah, usually they take the third baseman, Beckham, and they place him on the other side of the infield. But right now he's staying put, especially, and here's Beckham. Usually he's playing right there when Victor Martinez is up. But they don't want to give Victor the easy RBI by hitting something down in that direction, which he can do.
Cobb with the 0-1. Slice to left. There you go. Base hit. Rounding third and coming home. Here's the throw to the plate. It's cut off. Throw to third is in time there. But an RBI for Victor Martinez. The run does count, says Larry Vanover. Just ahead of the tag of the runner at third. Tigers take an early 1-0 lead.
Watch the base runners here. I want to watch Jeimer Candelario. He's on first base, and I'm going to get your opinion on this in a moment, Mario. Stop it right there. Right now, the ball is in the hand of the left fielder, Mancini. You see that he's just getting on the bag right here. So if you're Jeimer and you're at second base, you think it's going to be a close play, and it probably would have been a close play. He continued to run. The ball's cut off because the third baseman sees him, and they take the easy out at third base. But my question is, he doesn't let the ball go because he knows he's going to be safe at home. Is that a play that's in between, or should Jeimer stay at second base, in your opinion?
Well, in my opinion, I think it was one of those in-betweeners. I think you illustrated it perfectly, where the runner, Martin, was just around the bag at third base. So I'm not sure he made the bad play on that play.
You know,
right
as
there.
I want to be fair, because we talked about Manny Machado a couple of days
and
ago.
I was about to bring that up. Yep.
And he ran into an out for the third out. But
this was closer.
Yeah, but that's just that. But I'm telling you, that's something that managers in baseball nowadays.
That ball drilled to the gap in left center. It's going to get down and go to the wall. It's extra bases for Adam Jones. He is in with a double.
They're really starting to pay attention to those outs that are given up early in games, because you just never know what's going to happen beyond that point. So, you know, that's just one of those things that we might talk about during the course of the year. But we're going to see it more.
But would you agree that this play was a lot closer, or a close call?
It was a lot
Jeimer
closer. It was a lot
for
closer. And I'm going to ask Ron Gardenhire tomorrow. I don't think he probably had a problem with it, or Dave Clark. But I want to see.
Well, anyway, here is Davis now with the tying run at second base. Nobody out.
Adam Jones continues to swing the bat very well in his career against the Tigers. He had a slow day yesterday, but he's at him again today with that double off Jordan.
Davis 1 out of 6, couple of walks. Flipped one off the left field wall late in the game yesterday. Very nearly hit it out, hit the yellow line in left. Playing to pull on the infield.
Davis gets shifted on as much as any left-hander in our sport.
It's funny, he was talking earlier this year about how he's tired of hitting 200, and he feels a big reason for that is a lot of the hits he's had taken away. He was trying to concentrate more this year on going the other way. Or so he said in spring camp, and there he goes. Deep in the left field, back to the track, to the wall, and gone.
He kind of figured out his swing yesterday. He almost hit a home run the opposite way in one of his final at-bats in the game yesterday afternoon, and apparently he's kind of found that swing.
Second home run of the year for Davis, and just like that, the Orioles have the lead.
That's just a two-seam fastball at 92 that just got way too much plate. He started that ball inside, and it just leaked right back over the middle, and a big, strong, physical guy like Davis did miss it.
Ball 1 to Luis Sardinas. First home run of the year allowed by Zimmerman. Last year he allowed a career-high 29. The 1-0 is on the ground to the right side. Cabrera will take it himself. One gone. That'll bring up Tim Beckham.
Remember how hot Beckham was when we saw him when we went to Baltimore last year after they acquired him from Tampa?
Scorching.
Playing shortstop, it looked like he was going to be, you know, that late bloomer, that guy that would go on and have a marvelous career. But he's had a slow start to this season, and he also has had a position change. He's playing third base these days.
Well, Buck Showalter said that the month of August that he saw Beckham put together was one of the best months he had ever seen. He hit nearly 400 in August following the trade from Tampa.
We saw it too. He was on fire when we ran through there.
Yeah, we had a bird's eye view. Every night he played well against the Tigers. Well, 6 career homers versus Detroit.
He had a couple against Detroit when he was also playing for Tampa. I think he had a 2-homer game when he was playing for Tampa against Detroit one day.
What kind of an adjustment in your mind is it to go from short to third defensively?
Well, mentally, you got to make that adjustment in your mind first. You know what I mean? This guy's been a shortstop his entire life, and he's a good shortstop. So all of a sudden they tell you got a position change. There's some work involved, but I'm sure he can handle it. Most guys that are natural shortstops that have the really good footwork and the really soft hands and the strong arm, those guys can make the transition to third base, but it's very difficult for a natural third baseman to make the transition to the shortstop position.
Prior to the switch this year to accommodate Machado, he had played, Beckham that is, only 5 pro games at third base.
Yeah, I saw that.
He'll loop that one in the air down the left side in the gap, and it's going to drop. Base hit. Taking a turn, going for 2. There might be a play. The tag not in time. He is safe at second with a double.
Looked like Jacoby kind of got in between whether he wanted to dive for that ball or not. He wisely stayed up and played it on one bounce and made a strong throw in, but not ahead of the head first sliding Beckham with a double.
Here's Anthony Santander. Line drive up the middle into center field, base hit. Beckham rounding third. They're going to hold him there as Martin hustles it back in, and now runners at the corners.
And Bobby Dickerson, the third base coach, knows that Martin has a very strong throwing arm. As a matter of fact, since the beginning of the 2013 season, 51 assists for Martin, and most of those as a center fielder. You don't usually see center fielders with a lot of assists, so that gives you an idea of just how strong Martin's arm is, and that's why they held him up.
Yeah, that is scouting right there. And really, until the Tigers had acquired Martin, I had no idea he had that many assists.
Yeah, he can really throw that baseball.
It'll bring up Chance Sisco. Catching and batting ninth for the Orioles. Baltimore has taken the lead on the 2-run homer by Davis. For so many years, the Orioles had Matt Wieters manning that catching position. He has moved on. Sisco catching today. They have had Caleb Joseph in the first 2 games. Fouled off. I know the Orioles like the prospects of Chance Sisco. He was the 3rd-rated prospect in the Orioles system coming into the 2018 season. .258 coming in. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. That's a big strikeout there for Zim. First of the game. Fans take the afternoon off. The Tigers take on the Royals tomorrow, April 20th at 1:10 p.m. It's a split doubleheader. Game 2 starts at 7:10 p.m. Great seats on sale now. Tigers.com or 866-66-TIGER. So it'll take a 2-out hit now from Mancini to get that run in from third. Ball 1. Mancini bounced out on the first pitch of the ball game.
Mancini does not stay in the batter's box very long. He swings a lot early in counts. Very aggressive.
2-0.
The one thing that you do not want to do here, if you're Zimmerman, you do not want to throw him a fastball for a strike. And this is what Bosio, the pitching coach, is talking about. When you get yourself in this particular count where a guy is definitely looking for a fastball, go ahead and throw a breaking ball. Throw something off speed if you have confidence in it. Jordan last year gave up a lot of hits in 2-0 counts and 2-1 counts and the early counts, and most pitchers do. And I think that's why we're starting to see so many pitchers across baseball, whether it be starters or relievers, throwing more off-speed stuff in fastball counts and just throwing more off-speed pitches in general.
Here's the 2-1. Low ball 3.
If you can watch a Max Scherzer start, Mario, or Clayton Kershaw start, or a Corey Kluber start, or a Justin Verlander start, and these guys are throwing less than 50% with their fastballs, what does that tell you if you don't have a great fastball?
Well, I tell you what, when you look especially at Verlander, who's been a guy that has been, what, 95 to 100 in his career with the fastball.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, they have legit fastballs. There's a strike called.
Here is pitch usage and for Jordan Zimmerman and some of the numbers against his certain pitches.
3-2. They'll start the runner at first base with 2 outs. And it's lined foul down the first base line.
That's an outstanding pitch right there. It's a slider in a 3-2 count, and that's exactly what Chris Bosio was talking about. Have confidence to throw your breaking ball in this particular situation. But what a nice spoil there by Mancini. Mancini might be set up for a fastball inside after getting a piece of that one. It'd be dangerous, but he might be set up for it, either up or in.
Another foul back out of play. Mancini has really taken to the leadoff spot. 354 is a leadoff hitter. They tried Chris Davis at the beginning of the year. Davis actually led off for the first 5 games for the Orioles. Another foul back out of play, so he's driving up the pitch count here on Zim. Hey, as you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the Hold True moment later in today's game. Ninth pitch of this at bat coming up.
Santander getting his sprints in, running from first base on these 3-2 pitches that Mancini continues to foul off.
Ground ball, third base side, Candelario. And that'll end the inning. Orioles take the lead on the Chris Davis home run, and we go to the bottom of the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Menards brings you the big money encounter. The last 8 wins against the Orioles, Rod, have been decided by 2 runs or fewer, and they played a lot of close ones this year.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the Orioles seem to always give the Tigers trouble, always very close games, but we've watched this Tigers team this year also play lots of close games, and a lot of times the Tigers scoring runs late in games, like they did yesterday.
Yep, and they scored a ton of them late. Came back from a deficit in the 8th on the home run by Hicks, and then, of course, the Machado homer in the 9th. A strike called on McCann.
Cobb's got that hesitation in his windup. He comes to a little bit of a pause there, kicks that left leg out, and then delivers the ball home. And you just can't pay attention to a lot of the stuff that he's doing with his lower half. You have to simply pay attention to his release point and when he's releasing that baseball. You don't see many American-born players with this kind of deception in their delivery. Usually, you know, the Latin players have some flair. The Japanese players, of course, have the kind of hesitation in their deliveries. But most American-born players don't have this kind of deception in their deliveries for whatever reason.
You might see some guys that, you know, like Paul Bird used to do, would go over the head with the wind-up and some of the real legit wind-ups, but nothing really with a hesitation move.
Yeah, Bird was the modern-day Satchel Paige. He'd go over a couple times. No, I'm just talking about the wind-up. Yeah. The wind-up, just the wind-up, just the wind-up.
Here's the 2-2, and it's fouled away.
I mean, sometimes Bird would go up there once, he'd go up there twice, he'd go up there 3 times. Yep. It was fun to watch. Of course, I love watching Johnny Cueto pitch. I mean, with the shimmy and the shakes and all that kind of stuff. I think before long, we're going to start to see some of the Tigers pitchers, like quick pitch guys, and, you know, because everybody's got that leg kick now. You know, so every now and then you have to disrupt some guys' timing, so you just stand there. And we're going to see some quick pitches this year, I bet.
You know, it seems like a lot of pitchers and/or pitching coaches are teaching the slimmed-down version of windups, where they're basically pitching from the stretch. 2-2 is low ball 3.
Ooh, Cobb thought he had strike 3. Couldn't have missed by much.
Larry Vanover said he missed. Try to yank it back in there.
Yes, Cisco did. Remember that song? Cisco Kid was a friend of mine.
It sure was.
War.
War.
Good band.
A great band.
Great band.
Here's the 3-2. Chopped left side of the infield. Cut off at third by Beckham. He'll spin. Did he pull him off the bag? He sure did.
That's going to be an error on Beckham. Maybe. Might be a hit for James.
I'd imagine they will call this an error. We'll see. He did a little spin move out there, but his throw, you could tell.
He made the right play. I mean, it's an easier play for you, the third baseman, if you take that play instead of Manny making the play. But maybe by him turning and dropping that arm angle down to a low 3/4 arm slot when he delivered that ball over to first base caused Davis to come off the bag.
E5. Now Jacoby Jones. Jones out in left field again today. Showing bunt. Here's something I talked to Gardy about this morning. We saw Iglesias show bunt yesterday trying to get it going. And he likes it. He thinks Martinez should do it more. He thinks Jacoby should do it more.
Absolutely.
You know, guys that have some wheels, why not?
See, Gardenhire's always been that kind of manager. He's always had those kind of scrappy players when he managed in Minnesota. And that's why Minnesota was so good. I mean, no one ever gave Minnesota a chance to win at the beginning of the season, but yet Gardy was winning every single time, every year there, winning divisions.
Tigers, I think, have more of a team that is built to do that this year than in years past. And Jacoby part of more of an athletic team.
Jacoby's going to start to get a little bit more playing time. 2 for 4 in yesterday's contest.
Ground ball, base hit left field. Jones with another hit, and the Tigers have 2 men on now, nobody out.
It's a nice job of hitting there by Jacoby. I mean, it's no balls and 2 strikes. You know, Jacoby last year would swing and miss a lot, but he shortens up his swing. They worked on shortening his swing up in spring training with Lloyd McClendon, also Phil Clark, the assistant hitting coach, and that was just a really nice, easy swing with 2 strikes. That's a good 2-strike swing.
Tigers have their 3rd hit of this ball game. That'll bring up Iglesias. Iggy batting just .128, 2 out of 8 in the series. Busted him inside and missed with the fastball. 1-0. Breakdown on Cobb after 25 pitches. Dropped one low that time, 2-0. Cobb came in 2-1 career against the Tigers in 6 starts. A very good ERA of 2.41. So until this point, they really had not been able to solve him all that much.
That is a great earned run average in 6 starts.
That is a fair ball over the bag at third base. This will get a run in. McCann comes rumbling home. Joe's coming to third. They're going to try and score him. Here's a throw. It is not in time, and Iglesias goes all the way to third.
It's a nice job here by Iglesias. Gets that two-seam fastball inside and rifles it right down the third baseline by a diving Beckham. And once that ball gets down the corner, Mancini has a little difficult time with it. You see Jacoby Jones approaching third base, and you see Dave Clark waving that left arm because Jacoby Jones was giving him the opportunity to do so because he was running so aggressively toward third base. A nice read here of the overthrow by Iglesias as well to get to third base.
That is a triple for Iglesias, and he certainly needed that. His first of the year. The Tigers have reclaimed the lead.
That's a triple.
I'm just telling you what they're telling me. 1 ball to no strikes on Dixon Machado. Infield coming in now for the Orioles. You don't normally see triples. They go right over the bag down the third base line.
Well, Iglesias only came to third base because Mancini overthrew the cutoff
exactly.
man. So that's a double, and he advanced on the throw. I mean, there's no air. It's just good base running.
Maybe change. We'll see. Here's the 2-0. 3-0 on Machado. So Cobb, who is roughed up for a 7 spot in his first start, has now given up 3 early in this game and maybe more here.
It's good to see the Tigers scoring early in the contest, because one of the things that we've talked about the last number of days is the fact that they score lots of runs late in games but not as many early. So it's good to see them putting pressure on Cobb.
Ball 4. So Cobb having difficulty against the bottom of the Tigers lineup.
Time for the DTE Energy Know Your Own Power. And how about Dixon Machado? And yesterday, in the bottom half of the 9th inning, a home run to win the game. 94-mile-per-hour fastball, his first walk-off home run in the major leagues. And that was a happy, I mean happy dugout.
The energy with which this team plays, especially late in games when they trail, really has been fun to watch this year. Machado providing the heroics yesterday. So did John Hicks with his late home run. And now Cobb, after a visit from his pitching coach, goes to work against the top of the lineup. Leonis Martin will step in. First and third, nobody out. 2 runs in. Chase punt up, 0-1 on Martin. Single and a run scored as the Orioles look for the ground ball up the middle.
Pretty much playing Leonis straight up at every position.
Fouled away, 0-2.
That split changeup that Cobb throws to the left-handers. Doesn't throw that pitch often to righties, but he does throw it quite a bit to the lefties. He's got a fastball, he's got a curveball, and the changeup. No slider.
That split change was really one of his signature pitches until he had the Tommy John surgery. And after he came back from Tommy John, he went more to the breaking ball as his primary off-speed pitch. But in his first start, he threw 16 of those and did not get one swing and miss with it. So obviously it's still a pitch that he's trying to regain the old form that he had with.
Right.
And he got him, strike three. Martin caught looking.
Martin did not agree with Mr. Larry Vanover on this two-seam fastball that runs back over the plate. According to Larry Vanover, the home plate umpire, you saw Cisco ever so slightly pull that glove up into the strike zone to get that call from Larry.
So here is Jeimer Candelario. Jeimer had a single, part of the one-run first for the Tigers. Candy looks at a strike, 0-1. Ground ball right side, and it's going to be off the glove of the second baseman, Sardinas. A run will score, and Candelario has his second hit and an RBI.
That's like 6 hits for Candelario in the series. He's had a real nice series against Baltimore.
6 for 10. And now you got the big fella, Miguel Cabrera, coming up. This has turned into a 25-pitch inning for Cobb, and he has retired only one batter. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Bernstein advantage. When you look at Miguel Cabrera, he's got the third best exit velocity off the bat this year.
Now, who does not belong on that list?
Moncada, yeah, the guy at the top, right?
Yeah.
Martinez, yes. Zimmerman, yes. Cabrera, Abreu. The 0-1. That'll get foul 0-2 on Miguel.
Stressful second inning here for Alex Cobb. He's up to 26 pitches in this frame. He likes to see if he can get guys to chase the fastball upstairs with 2 strikes.
Ground ball slowly, third base side. Beckham tried to barehand it. Everybody is safe, and this is turning into a bad inning for the Orioles.
Beckham should have used his glove. With Miguel running down the line, he had plenty of time to field that ball in a more conventional way, set his feet, and then throw the ball across the diamond. But he tried to create a do-or-die situation where it really wasn't a do-or-die play. That's his second error of the inning.
No, sir. Infield single. Again, I'm just reporting the facts, right? Here's Castellanos. So they are loaded up now. Tigers already lead 4-2 here. Still only 1 out. Cobb now is approaching that time in an inning where you've got only 1 out. You're approaching 30 pitches. Pretty good. 375 career with the bases jammed. Ground ball to third. Beckham bobbles, stays with it, throws to second, 1, but it's going to cost him a double play. Fielder's choice and an RBI for Nick.
And Boston usually a really good defensive team, and they probably will be better. They played in a lot of cold weather, and not to really make excuses for them, but Manny now playing shortstop, Beckham now playing second base, third base, excuse me, but they just have not caught the ball as well as they usually do.
Here is the 9th man to bat in this inning, Victor Martinez.
They've allowed the Tigers to send a few more men to the plate in this inning than they should have had to. Maybe Victor can make them pay again.
Strike one to Martinez.
Victor came in with pretty good career numbers against Cobb. He had the most at-bats of any of the Tigers that had seen him.
Vivar now with a 5-game hitting streak. He's also been on base 12 in a row. The 0-1. It's an even 30 now in this inning for Cobb. 30 pitches.
See if he comes back with another one of those change-ups to Victor. He likes to throw that change-up in the 1-1 count. There it was.
Yeah. Well, the length of this inning for Cobb means a little bit more when you consider the fact that you brought up he really didn't have a spring training, still trying to work up that arm strength.
Exactly. And I think that's why he's probably throwing more fastballs than normal. That was a nice take for Victor. Now he's got himself in a real good, friendly fastball count.
Oh. 3-1 on Martinez.
Cobb feels like he's making good pitches, but he's just not getting those calls from Larry Vanover. But every time we take a look at the replay, those are balls.
The 5 Tigers runs, the most they've scored in the first 2 innings of any game so far this year. Swing and a miss.
Came back with that changeup.
So the count full now. They will start the runner at first base, Castellanos. Victor now 7 for 13 against the Orioles in this series. 3-2 is hit in the air and deep to right center field. Jones going back, still going back, and he'll run it down. Adam Jones gets on his horse and tracks it down. Big inning for the Tigers, though. Iglesias triples in 2, and Candelario knocks in another. It's 5-2 Tigers. 1 until Ryan Lamar from Royal Oak slaps a bases-loaded single to center field. And Puerto Rico native Eddie Rosario scores. Minnesota wins it. 5 hours, 13-minute game. 2-1 your final score.
How about that? That game almost as long as the game we played on opening day.
Yeah, I think it was
5:27.
Here goes Zim back to work now, enjoying a 5-2 lead. Pedro Alvarez will lead things off here in the third. Alvarez, Machado, Jones. 2, 3, and 4 for Buck Showalter.
A very important inning here for Jordan. His team has just gotten him 4 runs in the bottom half of the second inning. And you want to make sure when you go back in the dugout, the score's still 5-2. Now, you do not want to allow the Orioles to gain any momentum in this inning.
2-1 on Alvarez. 2-run shot by Chris Davis in the second got the Orioles their runs. Big swing there by the slugging Alvarez, who his best years came in Pittsburgh with the Pirates. 36 home runs one year, knocked in 100. That was back in the 2013 season as a Bucko. Laid off 3-2. Alvarez earlier this year hit a grand slam against the Yankees. That is popped up behind the dish. McCann almost got there.
Easy, McCann.
Well, he gave you the old college try, that's for sure.
He sure did.
That ball hung up there long enough, looked like McCann was just going to watch it sail back into the seats. Alvarez popped up in his first at bat. He'll pull this one to first base. Look at Miggy picking.
Pick it, Miggy.
Wow.
Picking and grinning.
One away.
Miggy, because he's such an outstanding hitter and has been for 15 years in the big leagues, he does not get near the credit that he deserves for being a very good defensive player. He's a good first baseman with a very good, accurate throwing arm, but does not get his due as a first baseman. I think he led all first basemen in fielding percentage last year.
Did he?
I believe he was up there.
Would not doubt you. I think you're right, though. The key point is everybody focuses on his offense. Very little attention is paid for his ability to play first base. Keep in mind, he's also played outfield, third base.
Right, and he plays every day.
Machado takes it low and away, 2-0. Zim had an easy 9-pitch first, and then he surrendered a couple of runs in the second.
Zim's got some pretty good life on his fastball today. That last one at 93. And so the ball is coming out of his hand. And very easy today. Nice, smooth, easy delivery for Jordan.
2-2.
And he's thrown a lot of fastballs today. He's about 60% heaters today against this Baltimore Orioles team.
Drilled toward left field. Jacoby is on the run, still going back. He'll turn on that ball, and it's a line drive home run for Manny Machado.
I don't know if Manny was anticipating that Jordan was going to try to go up top with a fastball, but that fastball was at the top of the strike zone, and Manny got on top of it and hit a bullet out of the ballpark for his 4th homer of the season. And worked to count to 2-2, and then that last fastball at the top of the strike zone. I don't know how Manny got up there and hit that thing, but he did. He tomahawked that out of the ballpark.
Well, the exit velocity on this one.
112.
Here's Jones. So Machado now is tied for second in the American League in hits. Altuve with 24 and Machado with 24.
Altuve, nothing new with that cat.
One of 6 players with 30 or more in each of the last 3 years. Machado staying healthy, almost assuredly will reach that mark again this year. Didn't go.
Manny is a free agent after this season, so I don't know if Baltimore is going to have enough money to retain him, so he might be playing somewhere else next year.
Orioles may look vastly different next year. They've got a few guys that their contracts are coming up.
Yeah, Adam Jones is a free agent after this season is over. He's pretty much spent his entire major league career in Baltimore. 250 career home runs as a center fielder. Only 5 other center fielders in the history of the game have hit more.
Oh man, he was swinging for the downs there.
And listen to this list, buddy. Mickey Mantle, Ken Griffey Jr., Fred Lynn, Bernie Williams, and Willie Mays, the only center fielders to have hit more home runs than Adam Jones that played center field.
Yet still relatively, I don't want to use the term unknown, but kind of under the radar player for the output that he's had both with the glove and the bats. And it'll bounce in, and Zim upset with himself there, 3-2. So Jordan has given up a couple of homers in this game. Davis in the second, and now Machado here in the third. Here's the 3-2. It'll pop up right field. Castellanos started back. Now he runs in to make the catch. Here's some of those notable free agents we were talking about with the Orioles. Now we're talking about some pretty big names here. I know Zach Britton is hurt right now. Brad Brock has been a good reliever. Jones, Machado, Tillman. Some cornerstone type players that they've had in Baltimore the past couple of years. There's a strike called on Chris Davis. We were talking earlier in an effort to get Davis going at the start of the year. Buck Showalter put him in the leadoff spot on opening day, and he actually hit leadoff for the first 5 games, and he went 1 for 20. And that experiment ended
Quickly.
Big swing there, 1-2. Buck right now has a team that is dealing with injuries, but also a team that just has not performed offensively to their potential, they feel.
They better get it going because the Boston Red Sox are going to run away with the division.
Davis caught looking at strike 3, and that'll end the inning. They get a run back to the Machado homer. 5-3 Tigers.
after being hit in the face with that line drive in Cleveland off the bat of Jason Kipnis, and had a chance to ask Jordan whether or not over the last week he's reflected on just how fortunate he is not only to be able to not miss a start in the rotation, but to have his health after that line drive struck him in the jaw. He said he thinks about it each and every day, how fortunate he is that it wasn't worse. But he also said he's glad that he got hit for a second time, because the first time resulted in 2 plates and 11 screws in his jaw, and that's the reason he didn't have more damage sustained to his face this time around. So it all worked out for Jordan Zimmerman and for the Tigers as far as that goes. Very scary incident indeed, something none of us will ever forget soon. That's for sure. Mario?
Yeah, Trev, I agree with that 100%. Rod, I'm still stunned that it wasn't worse than it turned out to be.
It sure looked bad initially, and I think everybody kind of knew that he was okay after he got up and walked off the field. And we did know he's tough. He's a tough cookie, too.
It'll be McCann here in the third to get things started. James led things off in the second, reaching on an error by Beckham. Here's the 2-0. Ground ball, left side of the infield, Machado. And McCann is out, one away. Well, these two guys do have something in common. Remember this back in 2013. This is Cobb with the Tampa Bay Rays. Eric Hosmer hit a line drive that hit Cobb right in the head. And so both of these guys know intimately what it's like to be struck by a line drive.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Cobb try to wear that hat when he came back, or was it someone else that wore that hat that had been hit in the head? I know they tried to find a hat that the guys could wear.
Right.
That would protect them. And
don't
no
know
one
if it
really
was
likes
Cobb.
it, but I do know one guy did wear that hat. I'm drawing a blank on who it was.
Alex Torres with the Padres at the time.
Okay.
Now, the question is, and obviously the hat, because of the protection in the cap of the hat, made it look really big.
Exactly.
And look odd and awkward, and you know, a lot of folks were making fun of Torres for it.
Yeah. You got no style points wearing that hat.
0, actually. Yeah. Style points are big now.
Oh, you know that.
Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Jacoby Jones. Iglesias given credit for a 2-run, or I should say Jones rather, with a single, and that really got things rolling in the second inning for the Tigers. Jones this time now will take the bat, head back to the bench. Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Made available by Oakland University. Here's Iglesias. Cobb desperately needs a quick inning. 30-plus pitches in the last half inning for him.
It's a nice little bender that he dropped in there.
Fly ball right field. Santander is under it, and Cobb has an easy third. 1, 2, 3. On our way to the fourth, Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded car company and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Well, we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the 68 champs. Al Kaline adorning today's tickets. And of course, he adorns the outfield every day with his statue out in left center. Zim back to work, delivers a strike on Luis Sardinas. 5-3, Tigers have the lead. It's been a very offensive start to this game. Grounded foul.
And Jordan, 9 of 15 in first pitch strikes so far today. Has not walked anybody, but usually does not walk a lot of batters.
Raise your hand if you had Luis Sardinas hitting a pinch hit home run in the 9th inning yesterday.
That was the only pitch that he could have hit out of the ballpark yesterday. That breaking ball down and in that hit his bat.
Luis has many talents on a baseball field. Hitting for power has not been one of them in his career, and he jolted the Tigers.
He sure did.
But the Tigers came back on the Machado home run to win it in the bottom of the 9th. Fouled straight back. That was his 5th career home run. Career now in the big leagues. Jonathan Scope out of their lineup, the very talented offensive-minded second baseman. They miss his bat.
Yeah, he made an all-star team last year too, Scope. He drove in over 100 runs. He's got big power.
Sardinas, Beckham, and Santander here in the top of the 4th final game. Tigers trying to sweep the Orioles out of town. Finally some sunshine today. Clear weather at the ballpark. And a strike in the outside corner. See you later. 3rd strikeout for Zim.
Let's take a look at Beckham. We told you he's playing third base really for the first time in his life. Only 5 career games professionally at third base. And because of that, he's still learning his way over there, what to field with bare hand, what to use the glove on. And it's going to take an adjustment period for him. I know Bobby Dickerson, their third base coach, worked long and hard with Manny Machado when Manny Machado made the position change from shortstop to third base. And I'm sure he's also working very hard with Beckham as well.
Well, Beckham, despite the struggles in the field, does have a double in this game. Here's the 0-1. Zim pumping in strikes now, 0-2.
Jordan throwing a lot of fastballs today. He's thrown 64 total pitches, and he's probably about 60% with his fastball.
Swing and a miss, and Beckham is dusted.
That's the best slider he's thrown today, too. That was a beautiful pitch.
2 outs. Jordan in his high school days was a catcher his first 2 years in high school. And he was also a star receiver on his football team. This was a dandy. Two gone now, and here is Santander. Jordan also a great example of how you can, play at NAIA schools, D2, D3, and still get a shot at playing Major League Baseball. He went to a D3 school, Wisconsin Stevens Point, where I'm sure baseball in April was not very conducive to the weather.
It might have been some cold days in May, too.
And June. That is popped up.
Call it.
Base side. Cabrera squeezing it for the out, and a 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Zimmerman.
It gave the Baltimore Orioles the lead in the second inning with a 2-run shot, but the Tigers have kind of chipped back in this ball game. They scored 4 runs in the bottom half of the second inning. Did not hit the ball extremely hard. That's a double down the line by Iglesias. Everything pretty much seeing eye single, and they are having commanding lead in this game, 5-3.
Cobb goes back to work, and it'll be Machado to get it rolling here in the 4th. Dixon, then Martin, and then Candelario. 1 in the first and 4 in the second for the Tigers. They lead 5-3. Dixon walked, scored a run. Ball low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Take a look at the curveball that Alex Cobb throws. The spike curveball or knuckle curveball. He learned that pitch from James Shields, you may remember. We talked about that a lot when those two were teammates in Tampa.
Right. Yeah.
When you see runners get on first base, he also holds the runners on the same way that James Shields holds runners on.
I often wonder why guys will throw the knuckle curve as opposed to, I mean, we talked about Verlander a lot of times, couldn't throw it with seams.
Yeah, he didn't use any seams at all, and he's got one of the best curveballs in baseball. But I think the guys that use that spike curveball or knuckle curveball, they put their fingernails in the seams, I think sometimes, Marlon. Just gives them a really good bite downward on those pitches. You don't see many guys throwing spike or knuckle curveballs.
2-2 on Dixon Machado. And down he goes. Cobb records a strikeout, his 4th.
Dixon got all the off-speed pitches from Cobb. That's the splitter there. That split changeup is what he calls it. Had good depth on that pitch, and he had some nice depth on his curveball.
Martin puts a charge into this one. It is deep to right center field. Jones can't get it. It's going to go up against the wall. Leonis is on his way to third, and he's going to stop there. Martin has a triple, and the Tigers another scoring chance.
Martin jumped all over that hanging curveball that Cobb threw up there at him like he knew it was coming. Adam Jones in center field ran a country mile. I mean a country mile for this ball and nearly made another really good play, but he wasn't able to run this one down, buddy. And I thought Martin, with his speed, was going to try to get inside the park homer.
He was thinking about it right here, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Come on, send me. When Jones is on the run, you just automatically figure he's going to catch it.
Well, he made a nice play to end that last half inning, running down Victor Martinez's ball that was just like that.
Here's Candelario trying to score him now. The infield in for the Orioles. And there's a fly ball to left center field. This will at least get the run in, and maybe more. And that ball's going to carry out. Jeimer Candelario goes the other way with a 2-run shot.
He's homered in 3 straight games now.
And he is 3 for 3 in this game. That ball just kept going.
It did. Looked like a routine fly ball that was going to be good for a sac fly when it left his bat, but that just kind of gives you an idea of the backspin that Jeimer had on that ball. He was able to drive it out of the yard.
Candyman is going off in this series.
I mean, he's homered to right center, he's homered to right field, and he's homered to left center field. So he's picking on every part of this ballpark.
7 for 11 in the series for Jeimer Candelario.
And you know what it goes back to as we take a look at this home run? It's an 86-mile-per-hour fastball, it appears to be, and he just takes a really nice, smooth swing. 31 degree with the launch angle, 103 with the exit velocity. And whenever you get those kinds of readings with the 31-degree launch, and it's above 100 as far as the exit velocity, the result is always a home run. Always a home run.
But you know what that swing looked like? It looked like he was simply just trying to get the run in from third base.
He's an unselfish player. That would not shock me if that was all he was trying to accomplish. And a lot of times when you are an unselfish player, you get rewarded, as he did with a big homer.
Candy's third of the year. He has 3 RBIs today, 8 for the season.
Big day for Trevor T today.
And he chose him #1 overall.
He took him #1 today.
Here's the 1-2.
Just a beautiful swing here by Candelario. Beautiful swing. Effortless, really.
Yep, effortless, short, quick, and it just carried out. The 1-2.
Cobb has had 2 starts this year, one against Boston, now this one against the Tigers, and he's getting them a lot of runs.
Well, I think the Orioles right now are just going to have to deal with it until he gets his arm strength back, until he gets his feet under him. No spring training, threw a little bit in the minor leagues and got back up here quickly. I mean, this is a guy that had a 2.41 ERA against the Tigers coming in 6 starts.
And the Tigers have always had some really good offensive teams, too, that he's gone up against. I mean, those are teams where we had J.D. Martinez, maybe even a Cespedes. I mean, some really good players.
Yep. Upton. Kinsler.
Yeah.
Right back up the middle, and Miggy has a base hit.
He beat the shift.
His second hit today. It's going to be it appears. Here comes Buck Showalter. So 72 pitches into this game. Cobb is going to exit, and he will give up the baseball. Orioles go to the bullpen, and we'll be back.
In his first start after getting hit in the jaw last week in Cleveland. We can all empathize with what he went through at the time, but one guy who knows firsthand exactly what that's like, Tigers pitching coach Chris Bosio. He told us about his story when he was on the mound in Fenway Park in his pitching days and took a one-hopper off the chin, and he was bleeding. He wanted to stay in the game with some butterfly sutures. However, he needed to go to the hospital to get attention and get 8 stitches. He said on the way to the hospital, they got in a traffic jam, and what he wanted most was to hear the siren go on. he got the start 2 days later, Mario, but certainly he knows just how scary and how painful a moment that can be for a pitcher just 60 feet 6 inches away.
He wanted to hear the siren go on, huh?
He wanted the siren.
He also took one of the chops and wanted to stay in the game. He looks like a tough guy, though.
Yeah, he is.
He was right back out there 2 days later for the start, though, because he said that happened in the first inning, so he didn't work up a pitch count. He was good to go.
Well, as they say, anybody that takes the mound in the big league game expects or knows that there's a possibility that could happen.
I'm just kind of surprised it doesn't really happen more often. I mean, you're standing only 60 feet 6 inches away from the batter. And sometimes balls are leaving their bats at 110, 115 miles per hour. Boy, it's scary.
Nicholas Castellanos here. Look out. That ball came inside from Wright Jr. He is the new pitcher in the wall side windows change.
He's got a lot of pitches. He's got a fastball that gets up to 92, 93. Slider doesn't throw that very much. He cuts the fastball. So he throws lots of fastballs. Then he has a curveball and a changeup.
Nicholas, an RBI back in the second on a ground ball. Two and two. Mike Wright appeared in 13 games last year with the O's. He was usually or used mostly as a starter in the minor leagues last year.
Yeah, I thought that when I saw all the pitches that he has. Usually when you see a guy that's a reliever, they only have 1 or 2 pitches, sometimes 3.
So when you have a guy that has started in the minor leagues and he comes to the big leagues, Buck Farmer, a great example, who used to start, now relieving, do you pare down your pitch total to maybe 2 solid pitches?
I think it kind of depends on the situation that you're pitching in. I mean, if you're a long guy, and it appears that Wright might be a long guy that comes in when they've fallen behind, you can continue to use your entire repertoire because you are a starter and basically you're going to be out there for a while. But in Buck's case, it looks like Buck's kind of gone to that fastball changeup mix because that's his best mix right now and not so many breaking balls. So if you're a late inning guy, you pare it down to maybe 2, maybe 3. But a long guy, you can continue to throw all your pitches.
Meanwhile, he's gone 3 and 2 now on Castellanos.
3-2.
Triple homer single for the Tigers, knocking Alex Cobb out of this game. That's in the air. Shallow right field. Santander is under it, and Nicholas is out of there. 2 gone. By the way, don't miss the Tigers take on the Royals tomorrow and Saturday. Enjoy the Liney Summer Party Pack that includes a game ticket, a voucher, and a draft beer starting at $19. If you'd like to purchase, go to tigers.com/Liney.
That Royals squad, man, struggling a little bit. They've got the fewest wins in the majors. They come in 3 and 13.
Oh,
yeah, 3 and 13. They're better than that, though. I mean, they've still got some decent players.
Mike Moustakas in his return has had a good start. Cincinnati fired their manager today.
They sure did.
They've only won 3 games. Little roller towards short. Here's a long throw, and Vimar's going to be out. Wow, what a play there. Inning is over. However, the Tigers had onto their lead. It was Jeimer Candelario. Jeimer, and he's a gamer. 7-3. Tigers have the lead.
Jay-Z gave up a big home run to Chris Davis in the second inning, but he settled in nicely after that. Good firm fastballs up to 92, one at 93. And when not throwing that fastball, that slider, he's had some real nice depth and bite on it. So far, really good outing for Jordan Zimmerman through the first 4 frames this afternoon.
And back out he goes here in the 5th inning, 7-3. Tigers have backed him up with 7 runs on 10 hits. 5 hits allowed, 3 runs, no walks for Jordan. Ground ball right side for Machado, and Cisco is out.
How about that play that Manny Machado made in the last half inning? And that's why he's going to be a premier shortstop. No question. I know Victor was running, but still, that was a really good play. Hey, there's your buddy.
Hey, Jack White.
In the house.
He's playing at Little Caesars Arena tonight.
You going to check him out?
Well, I'd like to, but I got a speaking engagement I'm going to have to
Oh,
go to.
really?
Yeah.
Yo,
So.
you going to make some nickels, huh?
No, I'm not making nickels.
Some extra nickels.
Doing it on my time.
Okay, see how you roll.
I'd love to see Jack, though.
I like that bow tie his buddy got on, though.
Yeah. Jack, remember in Texas last year, Jack showed up in Arlington.
Yeah. He and Kinsler are business partners.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he came to see Kins, not us, but he came in the booth anyway.
He came upstairs. He always comes upstairs.
He does. But he's busy tonight, taking in a Tiger game, and then he'll be jamming. 0-2 on Trey Mancini. Foul tip into the glove, strike 3. It's 5 punch-outs now for Zim.
He's on a roll. He's got everything working. He looks healthy out there. And ball coming out of his hand nicely. I mean, that breaking ball kind of backed up on him a little bit, but he still got away with it.
Here is Alvarez. Pedro pop up and a ground out. Dixon Machado playing a short right field. Ooh, man. 0-2.
That's just real good late life on a 92-mile-per-hour fastball.
Oh. 1-2.
Zim wanted that one.
Swing and a miss. Got him anyway.
Look out, Jay-Z.
Zim now with 6 strikeouts and back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. No check White bringing us to play. 7-3 in favor of the Tigers. is the lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Mike Wright goes back to the hill. James McCann rolls one up the middle and into center field. Just out of the reach of a diving Sardinas, leadoff single for McCann. And by the way, Tigers fans, you can help us support breast health awareness this Mother's Day, May 13th, by picking out the park. Special ticket packages include a t-shirt and a donation to the Karmanos Cancer Institute. To purchase a ticket package or for more information, please visit tigers.com/pinkout and help us pink out the park. Here now is Jacoby Jones, and he'll shoot one in the air to center field. Jones on the run, won't get it. He'll play it on 2 hops, and the Tigers coming right back.
That's another 2 hits for Jacoby Jones again today.
Well, he came in 2 out of 4 in the series. Now 4 for 7.
And went down to the bottom of the strike zone to take that breaking ball. Nice easy swing. That's the one thing Jacoby has done. He's cut down on his swing. He's not taking those violent swings that we watched him take last year. He got to spring training early this year and developed a really nice relationship with Lloyd McClendon, Phil Clark, his assistant as well. And he's been able to carry that into the season.
Do you think Jacoby has a chance now to take off because he may get some more extended playing time?
I really do. I love his skill set anyway. He's a legitimate 5-tool guy. I mean, obviously all those tools have not shown up yet in the big leagues. But at some point in time, Jacoby will show you everything. He got speed. He can defend. He can throw. He's got power. And he has a chance to hit for average, too.
Iglesias turns on a bender and drives it foul.
Yeah, his eyes got big on that one. And when you get a pitch like that, your eyes just get too big and you just come out of your shoes. You can't wait any longer. I've been there. Oh, she's got her baseball.
Here's the Tiger box. A lot of production at the top and a happy fan with a souvenir. Tigers are 5 for 10 today with runners in scoring position. They started the series 0 for 16. Chop to the shortstop, Machado. He's going to try and get the out at second. Can't do it. Everybody is safe. An infield hit for Iglesias.
We told you that Beckham is just now starting to play third base, and go ahead and run it because you can't see Beckham, but on a play like this, he knows he's not going to get there. What you should do is probably get back to the bag right away because he knows that ball, Manny has a chance to make that play, but if you haven't played there that long, your tendency is to go for that ball too instead of getting back to the bag because he knows he's not going to throw out Iglesias at first base.
And I think you clearly saw there that Machado looked to third first. Oh, when he hit him, and Dixon Machado will pick up an RBI. Hit by pitch with the bases loaded, scoring McCann. RBI number 10 now for Dixon. Here is Leonis Martin with the bases loaded.
Martin's already had a good day. He scored twice and he has tripled.
Trying to pick up Jones, Iglesias, and Machado. Tigers 8 runs on 13 hits.
This has pretty much been their best offensive production of the season, right?
Yeah, it's come early in the game and often. That'll get back into the seats 1-1. It's good to see the Tigers building a lead as opposed to coming back from a deficit.
That's right.
So the Tigers, after being swept by Cleveland, have a chance to sweep Baltimore here. They lost the first game of the homestand against the Yankees. They had lost 5 in a row coming into this series. Swinging a drive into right field. That ball is hit well to the track, to the wall. It's a grand slam for Leonis Martin. Number 2 on the season is a huge one here, and the Tigers have blown it open. Jack White's digging it.
Everybody's digging it.
(12-3) in favor of the Tigers as Martin clears the bases. Here's Candelario. Ball 1.
First career grand slam for Leonis Martin. He would have had 2 home runs today had we not been playing at Comerica Park. His last time up on his triple, he hit a ball about 415 feet.
And it's rifled to right field. It's going to get down a base hit. Candelario takes the turn, and he will hold up.
He's got 4 hits, man.
A single for Candelario, his 3rd single to go with this homer.
He's got 4 hits.
That's 5 hits in the inning now for the Tigers.
The first 3 hitters in the Tigers lineup today have 3, 7, 9 hits between them. The first 3 guys. 3 for Martin, 4 for Candelario, and 2 for the big fella.
That is a major table setting today.
Let's take a look at the home run off the bat of Leonis Martin, who absolutely clobbered this ball against Wright. 86, a breaking ball that is down in the strike zone. He just killed it.
100 on the exit velocity.
25 degrees on the launch angle and a projected distance of 390 feet. How many points you got today, man? You racking up some points today, boy.
You know what? I got to pull my abacus out.
Yeah, you might have pulled something out, man. I know. Goodness gracious, what a day.
That's a good block there by the catcher, Cisco.
I'm sure John Keating will have an update for us. He's probably got his calculator out. He's going to have to get it out to count up all your points.
He's got his shoes off right now using his toes.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing the update. I've decided. Executive order, we're not doing the update today.
Why, Keats?
Mario's on fire. Trev is on fire.
Trev is
Both of
too.
them. Trevor took Candelario with the first pick today. First pick today, he took him.
We'll get an update later, whether Keats likes it or not. Here's the 1-0 to Miggy, and it's a ball outside. 2-0 the count of Cabrera. Well, on a day when she scored 12 runs on 15 hits, most guys are going to have a pretty good day. Up and down the lineup, everyone has contributed. Now the 2-0. More action in their bullpen. Araujo gave up the home run yesterday to Machado to end the game.
Yeah, it was on a 94 mile per hour fastball that Dixon got from Araujo.
To the shortstop, Machado on the backhand, goes to second. There's one. Relay not in time. Well, Sundays are Kids Day at Comerica Park. Don't miss the Tigers take on the Royals at 1:10. Families can enjoy the Sunday Family Value Deal. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 chips, 4 drinks, starting at $20 per person. Go to tigers.com/value. That was the first out of the inning. Here's Castellanos. Nick pops it up. Shallow right field. Who wants it? Anybody? It's going to be the right fielder, Santander. Hung up there long enough. 2 gone. Well, the previous high for runs in a game for the Tigers this year was 10, so they've eclipsed that.
It's the second time in the game that they've batted around. Yeah, they sent 9 men to the plate. And back in the second frame as well when they scored 4 runs.
17 is their most hits in a game. That was a 10-inning game against the White Sox. They're at 15 right now. Ball 1 to Victor Martinez.
And last time Victor was up, he hit a ball to center field that looked like he was going to drive in a couple more runs, but Adam Jones made a real nice play running the ball down.
Yeah, bad combination for Victor. Adam Jones in center and the large outfield here at Comerica. Gave Jones just enough time to get back there and make a terrific running catch. Five-run fifth for the Tigers. Busting this one open.
Victor is locked in right now. I mean, you could watch a guy the way that he takes pitches, and you can just kind of tell that he's seeing the ball very well at this particular time. And Victor has indicated to me by some of his takes that he's seeing the ball well. He's got himself in another fastball count. Should Wright challenge him with a fastball? He did. Victor was just a little tardy on it.
2-2. Martinez singled in a run in the first. He is 1 for 3. 1 RBI on the day. Cobb threw 72 pitches before departing. Wright came on in the 4th, and now he's getting pelted here in the 5th. That's way outside. 3-2. He has surrendered a grand slam. He has hit a batter with the bases loaded. Runner will go on 3-2. And it's fouled off. Tigers doing a nice job of bouncing back after that really difficult series. They lost some close games in Cleveland. They were swept out against the Indians and then came back home and lost game 1 to the Yankees in that series. They've been able to deal with the cold weather and a lot of the rainouts and really put together a good 3-game set here against the O's. Victor stays alive. Coming into this game, the Tigers had scored 31 of their 59 runs in the 7th inning or later. They have flipped that script. They got 5 early runs today, now 5 in the 5th. Swing and a miss, and Victor is out of there. So the Tigers send a total of 9 men to the plate. The big blow, Leonis Martin, his first career grand slam. 12-3 Tigers.
update in a game in which the Tigers lead 12-3. Now, some of us cling to this, that even a blind squirrel can find an acorn. My squirrel is taking the day off. So, but congratulations to Trevor and Mario.
They're
11 points.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Candy's swinging the
You
back
got a
great.
couple.
Martinez
Miggy's
swinging
got a
the back
couple
great.
for you.
Miggy's got a couple for me, so I'm not complaining at all, Keith.
There will be no living with either one of them, with Trevor or Mario going forward after this one.
All right, Sour Sally. It's just one day.
Hey, John.
Yes, sir.
And a little birdie that said that they recommended today that maybe you think out the box and take Martine this morning. Is that true?
It was suggested to me.
I just wonder.
The cat's out the bag.
It was suggested to me.
I just wondering.
Again, God bless Leonis, and I'm happy for he and Mario.
No, you're not. You won't be happy for him, but not for me. Machado leading things off. By the way, I petitioned the commissioner of Pick the Stick to make a last place trophy as well.
Oh, you don't need that now.
I'd like to rescind that.
Yeah, you can rescind
request.
that now.
How quickly we've turned.
2-1 on Machado. That's fouled off 2-2. The Ram Pick the Stick update. There you go. A couple of big days, but as they say, one day does not make a season, to be sure. I learned that last year. Candelario, man. What an afternoon for him. What a day for Leonis.
8 hits in the series for Candelario.
The 2-2 is drilled in the air toward left field. Jacoby going back to the track, to the wall. It's going to go. And Manny Machado has a multi-homer game. Orioles get one back, still 12-3 Tigers. 12-4 rather.
It's a 2-2 breaking ball. And not a horrible pitch, but just a really nice swing by Machado, who is one of the premier players in our sport.
Third homer of the game down for the Orioles. That'll bring up Adam Jones.
Manny Machado had just a miserable, I mean absolutely miserable first half of the season last year. He batted about 220, 230. But the second half of the season, Manny was on fire.
Manny off to a good start this year. He now has 5 home runs. Sim drops one in, 0-2. Adam Jones, double, fly ball. He has scored a run. Swing and a miss.
Great location. Great pitch.
Strikeouts piling up now, 7.
Good leadership here by James McCann. He had the glove off the plate outside, indicating that he wanted that ball off the plate and down, and it was executed beautifully by Zimmerman. Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch on Jordan. 94 has been his top fastball today. Wow. So he has had a lively arm this afternoon.
Davis has the other home run for the Orioles, a 2-run shot, which briefly gave Baltimore a 2-1 lead early, but that has since disappeared. Sim now at 87 pitches. Tried to thread the outside corner, couldn't do it. 1-2. Went back out there again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. "15 Tigers hits, just 2 shy of their season high. And that one just says, boy, Zim, you could tell his body language there. Come on, he's saying. And he had a few words for Larry Vanover. Ends up walking him. Let's check in now with Trevor Thompson.
You know, Mario, I'm up in her suite, and there is a group of students from Montrose High School. They made the trip down here to be a part of the Class Outside series that the Tigers put on, but they're also calling the game. That's right. You've got a couple of guys looking for your job, Rod, Mario. They're right down here calling the game, recording it for their own purposes. The Student Broadcast Foundation and the Tigers have helped these guys put this on for the last 5 years. They've had this opportunity to come down, call some games, get some reps. And a guest speaker at the Class Outside series this morning, NBC's own Mike Tirico, and an Ann Arbor guy. He came up to the suite and said hi to these guys as well today. So it's a big day for these guys as well. All these guys coming from Montrose High School.
Nice. What a thrill for those kids to meet Mike Tirico and get an opportunity to record a game. And Trevor said one thing that is so absolutely true. It's all about reps. The more you can call ball games, doesn't matter even if it's in a recorder. It doesn't matter. The more reps, the better. And those young men have an opportunity here at the ballpark to call a Tigers game.
That was some of the advice that I had gotten when I was given an opportunity to broadcast games for the Arizona Diamondbacks back in '98 when they first started. Talked about the fact that you know, you get in your car and you turn your radio off and you just start, you know, saying, talking about starting lineups and different things like that.
There is Mike Tirico throwing out the first pitch here this afternoon.
He's a good broadcaster.
Mike Tirico is as good as it gets in this business and a tremendous person as well. Great to meet him, and of course there was, in my estimation, the best Tiger broadcaster of all time, Ernie Harwell.
One of the best broadcasters anywhere all time.
He is in that upper echelon. You know, when they talk about some of the great broadcasters in the game, Vince Scully comes to mind, Ernie Harwell, Jack Buck. Ball high, and there's another walk. So Zim with back-to-back walks. George Kell, of course, not only was a great ball player, but a great broadcaster as well. It's going to bring the Boz out. Tigers pitching coach walking out to the mound. So Zim, after giving up the home run, came back to strike out Jones. He thought he had Davis struck out, but ended up walking him. As they chat about that, we'll tell you it's time for a doubleheader. Tomorrow we've got twice the baseball fun. In April in the D, the Royals come to town. We kick things off with Tigers Live at noon, followed by Game 1. Then Game 2 coverage begins at 6:30. Tigers and Royals tomorrow at noon and 6:30 right here, Fox Sports Detroit.
And Kansas City has the afternoon off today, so they're probably, some of them are probably in the hotel.
Chilling.
Watching the game.
Here is Tim Beckham. Strike one on Beckham.
Jordan still throwing 90-91 with his fastball. He's been at that velocity for the most part all day.
That's pulled into left, base hit. Davis coming to third. They're going to stop him there, and that's going to load the bases now with one out.
And that's going to be it for Jordan.
Here comes Gardy, and he will go to the bullpen. So Zim will not complete the sixth. He is responsible for the 3 men on the bases. And Jordan today will throw 97 pitches before departing, so he will head out. Tigers go to the bullpen, and we'll be back.
And talk about getting busy. Jamer Candelario's been getting off in this series. He has 8 hits, and a lot of those for extra bases. He homered in all 3 of the games. He tripled in yesterday's game. Oppo home run today. He has just been showing out for the last 3 days.
Well, the Orioles trying to fight back in this game. 12-4 Chad Bell now in a wall-side windows pitching change.
And Chad Bell last pitched against Cleveland. That was on the 12th of April. That was the day that he was recalled from the minor leagues.
Only 1 out. Santander the batter. Bell made 1 start. That was against Louisville. And against Louisville gave up 1 run, 2 hits. Struck out 5 in 3 1/3 in that start. Prior to the call up here to the Motor City.
Bell's got a fastball that gets all the way up to about 95. His average heater anywhere from 91 to 92. He throws a slider about 20% of the time. He's got a curveball as well and a changeup. Does not throw the changeup that often, only about 5%. And does he throw his changeup?
Sliced on 2 hops to second. They'll go 4-6-3 to get the double play. Nice job, Chad Bell. Inning is over. They will settle for 1 run, and the home run by Machado. 2 for the price of 1. Finally, some sunshine at Comerica Park. Fans able to enjoy a day here at the yard.
Kitty's having some fun.
That's what it's all about. So are the Tigers. They lead 12-4 in this game. And McCann will lead things off here in the 6th. This job by Chad Bell. Came out of the bullpen with the bases juiced.
And did exactly what you'd like to do. Strand those runners for the starting pitcher.
Here's a ground ball left side of the infield. Beckham has it. And Mack retired, 1 gone. What'd you see out of Zim today? I know he kind of walked a couple of guys and ran a little bit out of gas maybe toward the end, but pretty good start.
Yeah, it looked like he labored a little bit late there with his command, his control. I think Larry Vanover kind of got to him a little bit there too. He was not getting the calls that Jordan thought he should be getting, being a veteran pitcher, but I thought he was good. Had some good life on the fastball. He got up to 94, which is good velo for him. Good sliders. Didn't use many of the other pitches. I don't remember him using many changeups or curveballs today, mainly fastballs and sliders.
It's been a good day for Jones. Couple of singles, couple of runs scored. Popped up behind the plate, and Cisco runs out of room.
I'm kind of glad that Chad Bell stranded those 3 runners, though, because had he gotten a hit there, the Santander kid, then we would have been looking at Zim's line, and that would have been 6 runs given up. And it's kind of hard to say he pitched well, but he did pitch well, and his line would have been deceiving to me.
But Bell got the ground ball 4-6-3 to end the inning.
He pitched more like a guy that gave up 4 runs today versus somebody that would give up 6 or 7.
Well, Jacoby hits this one to left. And running in to make the play, Mancini, 2 gone. By the way, Tigers baseball is always live with MLB at Bat. The app will keep you connected every day with live radio calls, video highlights, stats, breaking news, and more. Download MLB at Bat. It's your #1 Tigers app. We'll bring up Iglesias. Single, triple for Iglesias, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Line drive caught by the third baseman Beckham. It'll be a 1-2-3 inning. 6 in the books at Comerica. Tigers still in command. Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Back here at Comerica Park, it is 12-4 in favor of the Tigers here this afternoon. And Chad Bell goes back to work. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Chance Cisco leads it off, then Trey Mancini and Pedro Alvarez against the lefty. A little bit low, run the count 2-0 now on Cisco. Tigers with a victory today, if they hold on and win this game, will be 7-9 with the Royals coming to town. There's a ball ripped to right field, base hit.
Yeah, that's a dangerous count, even though you're going up against a left-hander that and you are left-handed. And 2-0, when you try to throw a fastball by big leaguers, a lot of times they hit it hard.
Orioles have their 8th hit of the afternoon. Now Mancini. Trey is 0 for 3. Mancini played his college ball at a school that is much more known for football. That would be Notre Dame.
Oh, for sure.
They've had some guys come out of Notre Dame, play in the big leagues. A.J. Pollock over in the National League. Jeff Samardzija as well.
Right.
But Samardzija also played in the gridiron, too.
Yeah, he was a 2 sports star at Notre Dame.
Here's the 1-1. Ooh, jammed him that time. Fouled it off. 1-2.
Torrey Hunter's son also is playing professional baseball now, that played football, I believe, at Notre Dame. Did he ever play baseball at Notre Dame, too?
I don't know. That's a good question. But he's in the pro ranks now, right?
Yeah, he's playing some minor league baseball now,
Nice.
yeah. We're going to see Torrey this year. He's going to come Negro League weekend. He's going to be here.
That's right.
Yeah, they're going to honor Torrey Hunter that weekend. Who was here last year? Sheffield?
Yeah, Gary Sheffield was. And from what I remember, that ball hit the right field. Chasing Castellanos back. Nick still going. Leaps can't get it. Up against the wall. Cisco on his way to third. That's going to be a double for Trey Mancini.
What were you getting ready to say?
From what I remember of Chef last year, he looked like he could just suit up right now and go down in the field.
Yep, for sure. He could hit.
Great player.
Surprised that Gary has not gotten more Hall of Fame votes for what he did in the baseball uniform for 20 years.
Remember the Chef's hats?
I do.
Fans used to wear?
I do remember those.
Here is Alvarez. So the Orioles not giving up here. They're down 12-4, but they now have 9 hits. Ball 1. Alvarez pop up, ground out, strikeout. Now 2-0.
It's a dangerous count, especially to Pedro. Pedro's got a lot of sock in that bat. He's hit a lot of big league home runs.
36 one year, his best year with the Pirates.
Ooh, he threw a breaking ball 2-0. Good pitch.
And again, he nips the outside corner, 2-2. Chad Bell at one time was on the fast track in the Rangers organization, then had Tommy John, which kind of derailed his career with Texas. Swing and a miss, he got him.
That's
Alvarez gone.
That's a nice job of pitching there. He fell behind 2-0, but the key pitch of the at-bat was a 2-0 breaking ball. All of a sudden, he put that thought in Alvarez's mind. Then he came back with another fastball, 2-1, that he didn't swing at, and then he finished him off with a fastball. But the 2-0 pitch was the key pitch for me in the sequence.
So now here's Machado, who's had a big day, 2 home runs, but fortunately both of them solo shots. Oh, 1 on Manny. There is action in the Tigers pen. Buck Farmer warming up. Now Bell with the 0-1. Jones waiting on deck, so Bell now is operating against the middle of the Orioles lineup. Ground ball to short. Iglesias. It'll get a run in. Scoring from third on the play is Cisco. Third RBI of the day for Machado, and it's 12-5. That'll bring up Adam Jones. Double, fly ball, strikeout. And Jones takes way outside 1-0. Adam came in .337 career against the Tigers, having hit safely in 14 of the last 16, and he doubled in his first at bat in this game.
And that's in 71 games. That's a lot of games.
Not a very small sample size. 254 career home runs for Jones. Two balls and no strikes. Belted in the air toward left center field. That ball is hit well, and that ball is going to go up against the wall. It's a double over the wall and an RBI for Jones, so he continues to torch Tigers pitching.
Yes, he does. It's a nice job of hitting there by Adam, going down to the bottom of the strike zone, hitting that ball out there that bounces in the bushes over the 420 sign.
12-6 ball game now, and that'll bring up Chris Davis. And now the Orioles with 10 hits.
Adam is quite the leader. I remember when Buck Showalter first took over the Baltimore Orioles team about 8 years ago. Adam was already a star on the team, and Adam wanted to be a leader and said he was a leader. And one time he ran down the line to first base, and Buck Showalter showed him the stopwatch when he got back. And he says, you say you want to be a leader. If you want to be a leader, then these times need to change. And from that day forward, every single time you see Adam Jones run down the line, he's sprinting down the line. Every single time. That's all it took. That's all it took.
You cannot dispute the numbers. 1-1 is outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Basically, he said to him, you say you want to be a leader. Here's the stopwatch. This is the time that I got. And you're much faster than that. And from that day forward, Adam's been the leader.
Now the 2-1. Davis homer and a walk. His home run to the opposite field back in the second. Tigers' big inning in this one was the 5-run 5th inning, with Leonis Martin hitting a grand slam to highlight that 5-run 5th. But the Orioles continue to chip away now. They're down by 6. Down goes Davis. That'll end the inning. Orioles get 2 back. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. the 7th inning here at Comerica Park. Tigers lead by a score of 12-6, and Dixon Machado getting things started. Mario and Rod back here at the ballpark on a day, Rod, in which the Tigers were able to put up some runs early. They got 1 in the first, 4 in the second, and we talked about this throughout the course of the telecast. It is nice to see this team now scoring some runs early in a ballgame.
No doubt about that. Leonis Martin has gone off in that leadoff spot. Jamer Candelario in that number 2 spot with 4 hits today, a big home run. Miggy with a couple of knocks, but up and down the lineup today, the Tigers, from an offensive standpoint, they have beat up on Baltimore Oriole pitching.
How about Jamer Candelario? Talk about him a little bit, because now he seemingly is fitting into that 2 spot in the Tigers lineup, and he can be really dangerous there.
Well, I just like him in the batter's box. He sees a lot of pitches. He's a switch hitter. He's perfect for that number 2 spot. When there's a runner on first base, he's batting left-handed against a right-hander. He can pull that ball through the hole on the right side, as he did in his first plate appearance today. I just like Jamer, and I think he's settling in, and he's on his way to being a very productive third baseman.
And it looked like as the day went on, Jordan Zimmerman kind of settled into the Tigers starting role here today. Gave up a couple of walks late, and that kind of was the end of his day, but I think by and large, pretty good work.
I love the way that the ball came out of Jordan Zimmerman's hand today, especially the fastball. He got up to 94, and he touched 94 a couple of different times, and when he wasn't throwing that 4-seam fastball or that good cutter, he had some nice sliders that he threw up there. Just like on opening day when he pitched against the Pittsburgh Pirates, where he had 8 strikeouts, he had that same type of slider today.
Well, we got Machado, Martin, and Candelario here in the Tigers 7th. And Dixon takes the ball low, run the count full now, 3-2.
And meanwhile, Wright out there eating up some innings for Buck Showalter's Baltimore Orioles after Cobb left after, what, 3 1/3 or something?
3 1/3. That was it for Cobb in this game. And Wright has been out there since. The other thing the Tigers have done in this series, which is not surprising because the Orioles strike out a lot, but Tigers pitching with 21 strikeouts in the series. 9 of them today. 3-2 roll to the left side, cut off by Beckham. And Machado is out.
Just like we promised you, it's time for the Miller Lite Hold True moment, and it's the last time Leonis Martin was in the batter's box. The bases were loaded. He got a breaking ball at the bottom of the strike zone from Wright and hit it about 397 feet from home plate.
Well, Leonis Martin needs a double for the cycle. The last Tiger to do it, Carlos Guillen against the then Devil Rays in St. Pete.
The way that Leonis is swinging the bat today, he might just hit that double.
Single in the first, triple in the 4th, grand slam homer in the 5th. The 0-1.
This much we do know about Martin. He's a free swinger. He ain't taking a lot of pitches up there.
Which is, I guess, not necessarily conducive to being a leadoff hitter in terms of on-base percentage and what you expect out of the top guy in your lineup, but he's done a great job. He has gone on base quite a bit this year for the Tigers.
The game has really changed. I don't even think that most organizations look for leadoff hitters to take a lot of pitches and try to work counts. I mean, you got some guys with power batting in leadoff spots. You got several guys batting second with a lot of power. Aaron Judge bats second for the New York Yankees.
Yeah, that's true. That's in the air toward left field. Hit pretty good, but it's going to be caught at the warning track by Mancini. Two away. Here is Chevrolet's most dependable player. How about Jamer Candelario? Pretty good day.
It's a great day for the Tigers rookie third baseman.
Single, single, homer, single. 3 driven in for Jamer.
He wouldn't go 5 for 5, would he?
Yep. Right here. Come on, Jamer. Ball 1.
Whoa.
2-0 on Candelario.
Candy's feeling it right now. He knows he's in a real good count. Hands are loose. These kind of counts, these counts are where you make your money. Good pitch there by Wright. Put a little wrinkle in that one.
Candelario is 8 for 12 in the series.
Is that good?
It's about as good as it gets. The 2-1. With his home run today, 9 extra base hits for Candelario. He's already tripled twice this season. Just off the plate. Full count, 3-2.
Wright's thrown 57 pitches.
Wow. Cobb threw 72 before departing in the 4th. We've had 25 hits between the two clubs in this ballgame, 15 of those for the Tigers. And Candy gets a walk. He's on base again. What a day.
Great day for Candelario.
4 for 4 with a walk. And finally, Wright is going to be taken out of this game. He gave Buck Showalter all he had. So they will go to the bullpen, and we'll be back to Comerica.
He got one more hit that day, 2 the next day, and then 4 big hits today, including a home run the opposite way. So Candelario has just been barreling up everything, and I mean literally everything that the Baltimore Orioles have thrown his way in the series.
He has seen 38 more pitches than any teammate this season. Pretty good. Araujo now has come out of the bullpen for the Orioles. And he's got Miguel Cabrera here with 2 outs. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Araujo gave up the home run to Dixon Machado yesterday on a 94-mile-per-hour fastball.
Drop one in there nicely for a strike. 0-2 on Miguel, who is 2 out of 4 today, both singles for Cabrera.
He's got a fastball that gets up into the mid-90s. He throws his fastball about 49, 50% of the time. And he's got a slider and a changeup. Throws his changeup a bunch.
Shot to left center field. That'll get down. Base hit. All the way to third goes Candelario. Miggy trying for two, has himself a double. A 3-hit day for Cabrera.
It's a nice piece of hitting here by Miguel Cabrera. You can see this is a changeup that he throws up there, and Miguel goes down to the bottom of the strike zone and hits it in the left center field. He throws that changeup 31% of the time, which means if you're throwing it that frequently, you're not afraid to throwing it to right-handers, but that's the mistake that you run into every now and then when you decide to throw a changeup to a right-handed hitter.
That'll bring up Castellanos. There have only been two Tigers that do not have a hit today, Castellanos and Machado, although Dixon has been on base a couple of times, scored a couple of runs, and Nicholas has driven in a run. Here's the 1-0.
I want to take one more look at the Araujo changeup to Miguel Cabrera at 85 miles an hour. This is why a lot of pitching coaches don't like for you to throw it to the right-handed batters, Mario, because this is what it does a lot of times. It just kind of fades the circle change right back into the happy zone of most right-handed batters, and especially a great hitter like Miguel Cabrera. That's why it's a better pitch for left-handers when you've got that fading changeup as a right-handed pitcher.
Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Castellanos.
Nick needs to get on the board here. I think he's the only one that has not gotten on the board today.
Trying to remember who selected Nicholas. Oh, that's right. It was Keats.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Because he's not going to like us when the season's over.
Oh, that ship has sailed, Rob.
He don't like us now.
1-2. And he laid off 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Keats wasn't exactly very humble when he accepted his trophy this year from last year.
He wasn't. He was not.
Victor Martinez waiting on deck.
Come on, Nick.
Keats out of nowhere.
He needs a knock.
Oh, the Keating curse strikes again.
Oh, no. Do not go there.
7 in the books. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
the way that he's throwing his changeup these days. It's a circle change, and it fades down into the right-handers and also to the left-handers. But take a look at it. That's why they call it a circle change. You can see that he has the circle on the inside part of the ball there, and, man, he's been missing some bats with the changeup.
A much different grip than today's starter for them. Cobb, who had the split changeup grip.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but it appears to me that Chris Bosio may have gotten in the ear of Buck Farmer, and he told Buck, you know, your second best pitch is probably your changeup. So if I were you, I'd probably go fastball changeup, and you can throw some breaking balls here and there if you choose to do so, but the roles that you're pitching in might want to stay with your best two pitches, and I think Buck's kind of gone to that fastball changeup mix.
So we go to the 8th. It is 12-6. Tigers have the lead. Sardinas pops up the first pitch into left. Jacoby Jones under it.
And Buck Farmer had an outstanding spring training, did not give up one run in spring, and had a lot of strikeouts. Really has nothing to prove in AAA.
On the opening day roster for the Tigers for the second time in his career. He was also on the 2016 opening day roster. 32 starts in the minor leagues last year. That is fouled back out of play. Actually, that's combined between Toledo and Detroit. I was going to say that's a lot of starts for the minor leagues.
Right.
It's impossible. There is the Orioles box. Tigers seized command of this one with a 5-run fifth. Swing and a miss.
Pretty good breaking ball here by Buck. Fastball firm, 94, 95. We showed you the changeup. But a good breaking ball here, coming off the fingertips. Located beautifully down and away. He can go a couple different ways now. He can go up top with the fastball. He can go right back outside with that same slider.
Went outside and missed 2-2.
Went outside with a changeup there.
Beckham a single and a double in this game. First time in a while it's actually been a little bit comfortable here at the ballpark. It's up to 51 degrees now.
Yeah, the sun has been shining all day long.
Now Farmer with the 2-2. If the Tigers hold on and win this game, the Orioles will drop to 5-14. And Buck Showalter has just not gotten his offense to perform consistently, although they have 6 runs on 10 hits today, which on many days would be enough. Tiger bats are booming this afternoon.
That last fastball by Buck at 96 miles an hour.
Ground ball, almost a diving play by Machado into right field.
That would have been a spectacular play by Dixon. It's a 3-hit day for Tim Beckham.
The last 2 pitches at 96, as you mentioned, from Farmer. I wonder if he feels now, pitching out of the bullpen, that he can let it go a little bit more.
He probably can. I know that's what Chris Bosio told Daniel Norris in spring training. Let it go.
Buck made 11 starts at the major league level last year. Santander fouls it back.
Every fastball Buck has thrown has been in the mid-90s. Here's where that changeup comes into play for Buck against a left-hander. fades it down and away. It's exactly what he wants. Here's that changeup. See if he can execute it.
Pulled right to the first baseman, which will result in a line double play.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
3 unassisted, and that'll end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Hard hit ball, but right at Miggy. Tigers in command here this afternoon, 12-6.
Hitters today have had marvelous days. That would be Jeimer Candelario and Leonis Martin. 3 hits for Martin, a single, triple, and a grand slam. Jeimer 4 hits with a homer, 3 singles, and a base on ball. So they really ignited the Tigers' offense this afternoon.
And as a result, a 12-6 lead for the Tigers. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Victor, James McCann, and Jacoby Jones. Araujo back out there, fires outside to Vmart.
Victor has reached base safely in 12 consecutive games. Batting 300 on the season, but he's a career 300 hitter from both sides for the most part. And we're talking about a guy that's been in the big leagues for 12 years. It's a long time. Career 300 hitter almost.
Ooh. I know you did that piece with Victor during spring training about switch hitting and how he goes about trying to stay sharp from both sides.
Right.
How do you go about that?
Well, Victor obviously sees more reps against right-handed pitching. He said he's only had 1 season where he's had over 200 at-bats batting right-handed. But you just have to get in the cage and you have to swing against both lefties and righties to stay sharp. Victor also said something about when he starts to struggle left-handed, when he starts to pull off the ball as he did on that last swing, he's hoping to see a left-handed pitcher, because by seeing a left-handed pitcher, obviously it gets him off the left side and he gets back to the right side where he can concentrate a little bit more on keeping that shoulder in on pitches. Said Chipper Jones was the switch hitter that he watched a lot, studied a lot of film on Chipper.
Chipper, Hall of Famer.
That much he is.
1-2 on Victor. Action for the Tigers, Drew Verhagen.
Another good inning for Buck Farmer.
Tigers trying to climb within 2 of 500 with a win here today. Way outside, 2-2. Farmer surrendered a single but got a line double play. And what otherwise was a clean inning, faced only 3 batters. Zim started this one for the Tigers. Was relieved by Bell in the 6th inning. Got a big double play with the bases loaded because it looked like the Orioles were trying to mount a comeback. And Victor skies one in the air to center field. Adam Jones cruising back. Oh, he can't get it. Up against the wall in center field, and Vmart will go to second. We'll see how they rule it. I don't know that he even touched that ball.
He didn't touch it, but Adam Jones, for the most part, catches that ball. He seemed like he started to glide a little bit as the ball was traveling into center field and just may have misread it a little bit. He's kind of slowed down right there, thought he had it all the way, and the ball right over the glove. Victor thought he caught it, or he was going to catch it based on the play that he made on Victor earlier in the game.
We had to turn on the Jets to get to second.
Turn on the what?
The Jets. Not usually a word we use with Vmart. Gardy was asked today if he thinks that Vmart has more pep in his step. And Gardy says he's got more pep in his heart, but let's not get crazy. There's a swing and a miss. That's going to go as a double for Victor Martinez, I guess, right?
Absolutely, that's a double.
Said the guy who selected him and picked the stick.
Not even a question.
McCann singled. He has scored a couple of runs. Off the end of the bat, foul. 17 Tigers hits in this game now. Which equals their most hits in a game, 17 back on the 5th of April in that 10-inning game against the White Sox.
Look at all the boys huddled around that bat rack. It's a fight over the bat rack today. They're all hanging around the bats over there.
And Mack goes down swinging.
They're usually hanging out over there because that's where the heater is, but today they're hanging out where the bats are. But look at them. They're chomping at the bit. Here, Martin. Candelario Machado.
What's going on? Someone messing with Vmart?
I don't know what they're doing. They're having fun today, I know that much.
Jacoby had to buckle out of the way. That ball vaulted off. Been a good day for Jacoby. He's got a couple of singles, a couple of runs scored.
It's probably going to earn him another game tomorrow.
Probably. Tigers actually have 2 tomorrow, with the Royals coming in. Here is Araujo's 0-1. Shallow center field. Jones coming in, and he'll run this one down. 2 gone.
Whoa.
Yikes, look at the top 3.
Huge days for these cats here. Rough one for Nick today, but Nick will be back tomorrow. There's no doubt about that. If I had first pick and pick the stick tomorrow, I'd take Nick.
Nick?
I would. Nick can play. He's going to be just fine.
Now Iglesias with 2 outs. Man, that went up and in. That's the second pitch from Araujo in this inning.
Yeah, the other one was to Jacoby.
Make you a little bit uncomfortable. Even if you are wearing that face shield. Now the 1-0. Ripped. Fair down the left field line. This will get another run in. Going to be a 3-hit day for Iglesias. Double RBI.
Good to see Iglesias' bat wake up as well with the 3 hits. Nice quick bat here by Jose. He turned on it. No shot there for Tim Beckham.
And Cabrera is showing his support for his teammate. 13-6 ball game. Now the Tigers have a season high 18 hits. Here is Machado. Dixon pops it up foul.
This is about the time where Michael Fulmer on the bench says, hey, save something for tomorrow, boys.
13 runs on 18 hits.
Michael, like, save something for tomorrow.
Fulmer's got game 1 in that doubleheader. It's going to be a good one. Jacob Junis going for them.
Yes, indeed.
He's been great.
He's got a good slide piece, man. I mean, he's got a slider. And he throws it at different speeds, too. He almost threw a no-hitter.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Threw well against the Tigers earlier this year.
And last year, too.
The 0-1 backs him out of there. So Araujo came on in the 7th. Now pitching here in the 8th. He has surrendered 3 doubles. Bouncing in.
Nice job there by Cisco. Getting down to block that breaking ball. You call for it. You know you got to get down there. Soften your body. Just shuffle it out in front of you. Not necessarily trying to catch it. It's like your glove's a pancake. Just shuffle it right out in front of you.
Here's the 2-1. Popped up. Shallow center for Jones. And drifting to make the play. Tigers get another run on the RBI double by Iglesias, and they're having fun today.
Oh, Mickey grooving down there.
Balamos, Mickey.
Yeah. Do it, big fella.
Update. You'll want to stay with us for the Tigers Live post-game show because we will take you to Club Tiger. There's strobe lights. The music will be loud in the Tigers clubhouse. You've been in atmospheres like that. There's not much better.
No, it's absolutely not, Keith. And it should be a party in there, guys. Listen, the boys have put on an absolute laser show, getting it done, scoring a buttload of runs. But there was one guy that really stood out who's on fire, but they'll have to stick around for the post-game show to find out who that is.
It'll be happening in moments. Upstairs we go for the conclusion to this one, gentlemen.
All right, guys, thanks very much. As we go to the ninth inning, Drew Verhagen is the new Tigers pitcher.
And Verhagen's got a fastball, gets up to 94, 96 with real good movement. And he also has an outstanding curveball. Former starter in the minor leagues for the Tigers, finds himself pitching out of the bullpen. Nico Goodrum takes over for Miguel Cabrera at first base.
Cisco swings and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike on Chance Cisco. Mancini and then Alvarez to follow. Eighteen Tigers hits in this game, 11 for the Orioles. Farmer had the 8th inning. Tigers also have gone with Bell in relief of the starter Zimmerman. Now the 1-2 to Cisco. Popped up. Third base side. Candelario going to the grass. Drifting. And he hangs on.
Candelario's messing with Glacier. Like, where you at? That's your ball. He looked at him looking at Jose.
Well, he was up to the task.
That's your ball. That's actually an easier play for the shortstop.
1 gone now. Mancini will stand in. He had a double, scored a run in the 7th. Verhagen trying to put this one away. Wave and a miss. 0-1. Tigers 2 big innings in this game. 4-run second, 5-run 5th.
Yeah, a lot of crooked numbers on that scoreboard today. Good fastball at 96. Both Buck Farmer and Drew Verhagen sitting at 96 today. Must be the weather. Boys are out there. It's loose now. 50 degrees, sweating out there a little bit today.
I was going to say, I wonder how much of a coincidence 13 runs on 18 hits is with a temperature of 51 right now, which is about 20 degrees warmer than we've had.
Yeah, Tigers, counting yesterday's game, had started an average of all their games this year in weather 41 degrees or colder.
Swing and a miss. Mancini retired.
There's that breaking pitch too. Good pitch.
Upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows. Here are the probables for tomorrow's doubleheader.
You don't want to miss that first one. Yeah, Jacob Junis is legit with a 1.93 ERA. Good breaking ball. We know all about Michael Fulmer. Outstanding pitcher. Jason Hamill in the nightcap going against the lefter Daniel Norris.
10 strikeouts for Tigers pitching in this game. 1 more out to get. Pedro Alvarez stands in. Ball 1. The full day of Detroit Tigers baseball tomorrow starts at noon. Right here on Fox Sports Detroit. We'll have both of them for you. Swing and a miss. One and 2 on Pedro Alvarez. $15,916 tickets sold here today, and now they're looking for the final strike. In the air toward left. Jones on the run. It's going to drop. Loop single. Alvarez keeps it going for the Orioles. That'll bring on Machado.
Manny has 2 home runs today, and both home runs have come on 2-2 pitches. That was a fastball at 92 at the top of the strike zone that he got on top of and hit an absolute seed out of the ballpark. So the next time he comes up, it's another 2-2 pitch. He knows he's not going to get that fastball again from Jordan Zimmerman, and he went down and got a breaking ball and hit that one out of the ballpark. So that's why Manny Machado is a special player, and he's so sought after as a free agent after the season is over.
He's going to shoot the gap with this one all the way to the wall. This will get a run in for the Orioles, and Machado is going to have his 3rd extra base hit of the day.
He makes it look easy, doesn't he? I mean, he really does make it look easy.
2 homers, a double. Came in batting .319. 13-7 ball game. Couple of 2-out hits for the Orioles. Here's Adam Jones. And Baltimore now with 13 hits of their own. That'll get away to the backstop, advance the runner. Wild pitch.
If he throws Adam Jones a fastball here, Adam is going to come out of his shoes. It will be a healthy cut. He will not be trying to hit a single either.
And he drives one in the air to center field. Martinez on the run, still going back. He's not going to get it. It's up against the wall. Another run scores, and Jones has his 3rd double of the game, and the Orioles not going away.
If Adam Jones was playing in any other ballpark today, he'd have 3 home runs today.
No
Not
doubt.
3 doubles, he'd have 3 homers. That's how far he's hit every last one of those doubles today. Take a look at home runs by a center fielder in American League history. And Jones is on that list. He has 254 actually. And Bernie Williams on that list, Fred Lynn, Ken Griffey Jr., Mickey Mantle. Adam Jones is actually 13th all time if you combine both leagues as far as center fielders that have hit 250 or more home runs.
Well, here is Davis now.
You know, the one thing about Adam Jones, too, usually when you're a really young center fielder, you're very athletic. You can run a lot. But once you get into your 30s, I mean, they try to move you to a different position because you're not as young and not as fleet of foot as you used to be. But he still can run down the ball in center field with the best of them.
Definitely playing at a high level. It all started with a 2-out bloop single with 2 strikes on Pedro Alvarez. Davis waits on a 1-1. 2-1. Just in case. Joe Jimenez starting to heat up.
And Joe hasn't pitched since Tuesday. Had a couple of days off.
Low ball 3. Single by Alvarez, doubles by Machado and Jones. And now the Orioles with 14 hits. And he walked him. That'll put 2 men on now. And pacing time now for Ron Gardner because it's getting a little bit interesting. And here comes Chris Bosio. Luis Sardinas will be the hitter. 13-8 ball game. 2 runs in here for the Orioles in the 9th. The 30-second clock has run out, and so the home plate umpire Larry Vanover going out to chase away Basio. We have had a total of 32 hits between the two clubs in this game. Here's Sardinas, who hit the pinch hit home run in last night's game. And he'll look at a ball low. So Verhagen looked like he was cruising along, got a pop up, a strikeout, got 2 strikes on Alvarez, and then Pedro blooped a single into left field. That third out has been hard to come by. Total of 22 now for Verhagen. 13 strikes. And Sardinas rips one foul. And once again, Verhagen 1 strike away from ending this contest. The 1-2. Curled one outside, 2-2 on Sardinas. Verhagen having trouble getting that final strike. Got it there, swing and a miss to strike him out and end the ball game. Tigers sweep the Orioles out of town. 13-8 your final score. Now we send you to the Call Sam Studios. John Keating, Tigers Live postgame.
Mario, thanks. The Tigers scored 1 in the first, 4 in the second, 2 in the fourth, and 5 in the fifth. It was Leonis Martin with a big blow in the 5th inning as the Tigers opened this one up. You'll hear from the Tigers center fielder who had a huge day at the plate, along with his teammate Jamer Candelario, when Tigers Live gets going just moments from now on a Thursday afternoon downtown.